The Siege of Calais, 1346 to 1347, was a key military action during the early stages of the Hundred Years' War, where English forces, led by King Edward III, successfully captured the port town of Calais in northern France. The siege was an important English victory, providing a strategic foothold in France that would remain under English control for over 2 centuries. However, the Black Death, which struck Europe in the mid-14th century, had a profound impact on both the aftermath of the siege and the broader course of European history. The Siege of Calais, 1346 to 1347. Background: in 1346, King Edward III, after achieving a stunning victory at the Battle of Crécy, turned his attention to Calais, a crucial port for France. It was vital for both trade and military operations, and controlling Calais would give the English a strong strategic base in northern France. The siege. Edward laid siege to Calais in September 1346, surrounding the city and cutting off supplies. The town, heavily fortified and well defended, endured a long siege, with the French defenders holding out despite numerous attempts to break the English blockade. The French residents and defenders, including soldiers and civilians, faced starvation and dire conditions. Surrender. After nearly a year of siege, the inhabitants of Calais, under extreme pressure, agreed to surrender in early 1347. The English demanded an extraordinary ransom and a symbolic act of submission. The town's 6 leading citizens, wearing nothing but shirts and carrying the keys to the city, were sent to Edward, offering themselves as hostages for the safety of the rest of the population. In a moment of mercy, Edward spared them, though the city was thoroughly plundered. Calais became an English stronghold for over 200 years. The Black Death, 1347 to 1351. As England emerged victorious in Calais, Europe was already grappling with the onset of the Black Death, a plague that would devastate the continent and have far-reaching consequences for the course of European history. The Black Death reached England in 1348, but by 1347, it had already begun to spread through France and southern Europe. Impact on Europe. The plague killed an estimated 25 million people in Europe, about a third of the population, causing severe depopulation, economic collapse, and social disruption. Towns like Calais, which had just witnessed the horrors of a prolonged siege, would now face the additional calamity of the plague's arrival. Connection to the Siege of Calais. While the Siege of Calais ended in 1347, the Black Death would soon follow, striking France and England within a year. The social and economic upheaval caused by the plague made it even harder for France to recover from its military setbacks during the Hundred Years' War. English forces in Calais would find themselves not only dealing with the effects of the war, but also grappling with the consequences of a rapidly depopulating enemy territory. Consequences and legacy. The Siege of Calais and the Black Death were 2 defining events of the mid-14th century that shaped the future of Europe. The Siege of Calais solidified English control over a vital port, which remained an important base for English operations in France throughout much of the Hundred Years' War. The Black Death had lasting effects on both English and French societies, leading to labor shortages, economic shifts, and significant changes in social structures. The aftermath of the plague also delayed further military campaigns, as both England and France struggled to recover from its impact. Ultimately, the siege and the plague demonstrated how the Hundred Years' War was shaped not only by military conflict, but also by the broader social and environmental challenges of the medieval period.